Ladies and gentlemen, today's video is very special. Kashira has released her latest update to Halo 3 Combat Evolved, and it is definitely the way Halo Anniversary should have been. This mod was great before, but now it is truly epic. It is AAA level. The fact that this was made by one person is absolutely mind-boggling. So today I've compared the original Halo Anniversary to Halo 3 Combat Evolved, showing the attention to detail of the mod versus the original remaster. Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary released in 2011, whereas Halo 3 ODST mod tools are from 2009. Now, if there are more recent additions that make the mod tools superior, just let me know in the comments, but that was my understanding. Now onto the review. The original Combat Evolved Anniversary has a very clean look, with assets from Halo Reach. Now this makes the flood atmosphere and the flood levels seem way less scary and not very intimidating. They're supposed to be an ancient evil, and the Covenant ship you are on looks power washed, almost identical to the Truth and Reconciliation you play earlier in the game. And I think the remaster would have really been better if the ship was being flood terraformed as you were on it. That's exactly what Kashira has done. The flood tentacles, flood pods, and overall atmosphere are darker to represent a plague-like effect. The flood, after all, is supposed to be this abomination, this disgusting, oozing parasite. And Halo in its second half of the campaign was almost a horror game, rated MA 15+ in Australia, and Kashira's mod really fits that. The only aesthetical pieces I like about Combat Evolved Anniversary are the Reach Spec Op Elites, they look awesome, as well as the green ooze that is coming out of the ship, but again, for overall horror and atmosphere, Kashira's less coloured version is much more fitting. Now there's a big benefit to Kashira actually using the ODST engine for this mod. Not only do you get the visor mode that ODST offers, but you also get a mini-map that shows you where you're supposed to go, all the geometry in that loading section, and if there's any enemies around. It really brings the immersion to that next level, and that's what I'm going to keep saying about this mod. The attention to detail. All the little things that Kashira has done with the mod, and you put them all together, makes the level so damn good. The best example of this is the door animations. Now Halo Combat Evolved Original, the Covenant door would glow twice and then open. With the remaster, it just opens, but then with Kashira's, it actually spins and then opens. I love that effect. You also get to use the fuel rod. Kashira has modified and retextured it for her mod. It's a very nice touch. Now something that Combat Evolved Anniversary doesn't do, but Kashira's does very well, is as you continue further into the ship, it becomes dimmer, darker, and creepier. This almost horror-like section of the level fits the visor mode perfectly, and as a little side note, you can still use a flashlight. By pressing down on the directional pad, you can use the visor mode or a flashlight. With that said, this section of the level is beautifully disgusting. That's the best way I can put it. Another bonus of using a Halo 3 engine, or a modified version of that, is the flood can reanimate dead corpses. Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary cannot. The only thing I didn't like about Kashira's mod was the purple mission prompt. I think a light blue to match the HUD would be great, and it is in pre-release, so that's my one bit of feedback. This brings me to Master Chief himself. His model in Combat Evolved Anniversary came out a very long time ago, and then Marcus Leto's new model only came out a few years back, but the Combat Evolved Anniversary Master Chief looks really bad. It's probably my least favorite aesthetic of his. Chief in the mod, however, looks 10 out of 10, and it's my favorite looking Master Chief I've ever seen. It's one of the biggest mistakes with Combat Evolved Anniversary, and it was the changes to the Master Chief. I really hated what they did with his armor. It didn't look good to me, and I wish they did it differently. Now, the iconic cutscene where Master Chief finds Captain Keyes and he's been integrated into the Proto Gravemind and punches his skull to get the neural implants has been recreated really well in Kashira's mod. I particularly like the disgusting breathing effect of the Gravemind, as it shows you Captain Keyes has been fully integrated into the Proto Gravemind. It looks hideous, disgusting, exactly the way it should. The room itself has also been flood terraformed compared to the Anniversary Remaster, where there's absolutely no flood spores, flood tentacles, or anything flood related on the walls, ceiling, or floor at all. The reason why the atmosphere is so important, not only for telling a story and gameplay purposes, but Cortana literally says at the start of the mission, the flood overwhelmed this cruiser and disabled it. And you fast forward through the mission, it says, look, in the corners, the flood are gathering bodies. And High Charity, when you're playing as Chief and the flood are taking over, they started terraforming that place right away. So it's a real misstep that the Anniversary Remaster of Keyes has none of that. Personally, I think the Anniversary Proto Gravemind isn't terrible. It does look gross. I genuinely think it looks good, but the surrounding atmosphere again really doesn't do it any favors. The final thing I prefer about this mod is the Banshee. I don't like the Reach Banshee model compared to the original games, and again, it uses Reach's models, so that's just a small nitpick, but again, I prefer Kashira's mod. I think the biggest thing for me is this mod was created by one woman who is passionate about Halo, and that's incredible. It's been crazy to see how this mod has evolved over the past few years, and even if it takes many more to complete, this is the way Halo Anniversary was meant to to be. I cannot wait to see the future missions as she is moving on to the next set of campaign levels. It is going to be legendary. With that said, check out Kashira's links in the description, show some support and go subscribe to her if you haven't already. I'm sure she would really appreciate it. But thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what you think of the mod down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys later.